Years ago, I bought this tractor here. We'll call it code name May 24th. You know, a 524. It's an 8-horse pull start, Gravely walk behind 500 series, probably from the late 1970s. And I got it from a guy that lived 5 minutes down the street from me, a guy named Rich. He might be watching. And I've never touched it since. It's been sitting outside behind my barn for I don't remember how long ago that was. It might have been 3 years ago. I can't remember. It's either 3 years or 4 years. But I've never touched it since, and it's been, every time I mow the lawn down there, I got to mow around it. And every time I see it, I want to take it home and work on it. So we're bringing it home, and we're going to see what we can do with this thing. Hey, I brought home the 524. It's been at my other location for like 4 years, sitting outside. So I just brought it home and I hooked up my spark tester, and there is no spark on it. So, and it's kind of funny, but I pulled the thing and it's like, sounds like there's all this back pressure. It turns out that somebody put like a 1-inch pipe nipple on the exhaust, and up here it's just wide open, and they had this cap on it. So I don't have any idea what the heck the guy was going to do for the exhaust, but both studs for the muffler are broken off the block there, but they're broken out. They're not broken flush, so there's a half a chance that they can be saved, but I highly doubt it. This thing is really rusty. It's all full of leaves from being outside, and it's missing the recoil starting apparatus, and obviously this yellow recoil didn't come on it. Someone put that on there, but I did pull it over. It feels real nice pulling it, so maybe we can get lucky and clean the points, and that will be our only thing we need to do. The throttle cable seems to work a little bit. The screws on the carb are frozen. I just tried to move them and they're all frozen. At least the one on the top is. The low speed's not, but the high speed is. So yeah, maybe we'll pull off the points cover and clean the points, but I'm out of time for tonight, so maybe tomorrow. All right, so I took the points cover off, and I literally sanded the points about 8 times, and I gave it a pull, and it has spark. So now the next issue is that all these linkages on the carb here, they don't want to turn, including the choke, everything. So we're just going to give them a little bit of lubrication. We'll move them a couple times. We'll see if it frees it up a little bit. All right, we're going to give it some carb cleaner in there. We'll put the choke on. We're going to give it a pull and see what the heck happens. All right, that's awesome. Thanks, dude. All right, so I went to take the cap off the gas tank here, and someone has this black plastic cap on there, which is not the proper cap. I don't know if you can see inside of here, but that is about the most disgusting, nastiest gas tank I've ever seen. Now granted, it's empty, so that's a huge help to us, but the fuel line down here, someone put an inline shut off. The line is kinked right there, so it's not even able to function at all. So I don't know if this tank is cleanable or if it's beyond being cleaned, but we're gonna have to take this fuel line off and take the tank off and check it out. All right, so I took the gas tank off. We got to clean this whole tractor out. It's been sitting outside for like 4 years since I got it, or 3 years. I lost track of time, but in the fall, all the leaves just went in it. There's not a mouse nest in there. That's just from being under a huge maple tree and me leaf blowing and all the junk going in it. So we'll blow it out, but inside this tank, man, the whole bottom is covered with like this black, gooey, yellowy sludge. And I don't know if you can see it or not, but, and it's on the sides too. It goes up about 1 inch on the sides, but there's nothing in it. It all evaporated. And the actual filler neck area is all bent and out of shape. So someone killed this pretty good. I was just kind of hoping that we could get it so it's clean and we could put some gas in it and we can see if we can actually run the engine, but unfortunately I didn't expect to run into this roadblock right now. I suppose I could, I'm going to put some hot water in there. I'm going to put some nuts and bolts in there and we're going to shake it around and try to loosen all that junk up and see if we can clean it up a little bit. All right, so I made this little stopper on the bottom. I'm going to put some nuts and bolts in there. And what we're going to do is we're going to put some water in there. We're going to shake it like crazy and see if we can dislodge all that junk. Shake it, baby. Tap leaks like crazy. Nasty junk in there, man. All right, let's see what kind of goodness comes out of here. Oh, that's awesome. Sweet. I don't know. We'll do it a couple more times. I'm thinking of just letting it sit like that. All right, here's try number 2. Oh, it's a little clearer. Wow, I can actually see the bottom of the tank now. That is a good sign. You guys probably can't, but I can. I'll do it a couple more times, and I'm just going to let it sit with the water in it, I think, for an hour or so. Maybe it will dissolve some of that junk. Well, after letting it sit for a while, it's evident that there's a pinhole in the back of the gas tank, man. It's just pissing out of there. That's not cool. All right, it's been sitting for about an hour. Let's see what it looks like now. Not so bad. It's almost like perfectly clear water now. Well, anyway, that's the deal. We got 2 pinholes in the gas tank here. I cleaned it up and I'm going to try to solder them with some pipe solder and some flux here, but I'm not very good at this. I've tried to solder a gas tank another time and I had no luck, so I got nothing to lose. I'm going to give it a shot and see what we can do. All right, I just hit it real quick with some solder and it's melted over the hole, I think. Whether or not it's going to stick or not is another thing, but it ran down here and made a big glob. Before I get too crazy, I'll put some water in there and we'll see if it leaks. It looks like there could be a little bit of a pinhole up here still, so we might have to do it again. Well, let's check it out, man. Oh, I see a drop coming out. I thought we were good, but I see a drop, so let's put a little more solder on there. All right, well, maybe the second time's the charm here. I don't see any leaking. Oh, dude. Is there another hole over there on the other side? Yep, there's another hole on the other side.
Congratulations.
There's a hole over here now. That's how it goes with these things.
Yeah,
Well, there's 2 more pinholes over here, so kind of expected it was going to go this way with this turd, so heat it up a hair to dry it out. Then I'll put a little flux on there, and then we'll melt a little solder on there and we'll see what happens. There we go. Let's do that. I'll heat it up and melt some solder on there. I've had this happen before. You start heating it up and this metal is really dirty and all kinds of oils and stuff come out from inside the metal, and it makes it really hard to solder because it kind of contaminates your work area. So I don't know if this is going to work, but let's go put some water in it again, and how much you want to make a bet another hole shows up this time. All right, we got the water in it. Shake it around a little bit. I think it's holding. It's hard to tell, but I think it's holding. So still got the nuts and bolts in it. Yeah, I think it's holding for now. So I'm just gonna maybe clean it up a little bit. Oh wait, we got a gusher over here. Another hole. There's another hole. Oh dude, that's not cool. Alright, so I just blew this off with the backpack blower and got all those leaves out of there. And I just discovered that the bearing plate is cracked off behind the flywheel there. So that means we need a new 8-horse rope start bearing plate. I might have one in the garage somewhere, but before we get into that kind of action, we're going to see if we can get it running. So I'm going to put a new piece of fuel line in it. I think the tank's as good as it's going to be. I came to the realization that someone put an air hose fitting in this thing for a fuel line fitting, which is crazy. I patched up those holes. I had to solder it about 4 times before all the holes got patched in, but let's pull a new fuel line through over here to from the carb side out this side and see if we can fire this turret up. All right, so I taped the new fuel line on this old one, and we're going to see if we can get lucky and pull it through. I have a feeling we're not going to get lucky, but we're going to try. Well, it actually worked. I was able to pull it right on through. I cannot believe it. I am shocked. So we're definitely going to have to put a fuel filter in this thing, I'll tell you that much.